Hello everyone, welcome to Python tutorial 5. In this video, we will discuss about dictionaries, another immutable data structure in Python. In the last video, we discussed about what is mutable data structure and we discussed in detail about list. Please go through the video. Have given the link in the description box. So these are the topics we are going to discuss in this video. What are dictionaries? Keys and values of a dictionary, methods and functions applicable in a dictionary, nested dictionaries, and discussion on where to use tuples, list, and dictionaries. We have discussed in detail about tuples, list in the previous videos. In this video, we discuss in detail about dictionaries, and finally, we have a discussion on where to use these data structures. What are dictionaries? Like a list, a dictionary holds a sequence of elements. Each element is represented by a key and its corresponding value. But lists have numerical indexes. But dictionary has no indexing. Dictionaries have keys. These keys are used to access values within a dictionary. We already discussed about list and indexing. Below is an image which shows how dictionary differs from list. A list will have a list of elements and we can access those elements using its position. Dictionaries have key and element. Key is a label and each key is having a element. We can say dictionary is having key value pair. To create a empty dictionary, we can use this curly braces. This is an empty dictionary and we check the type of the dictionary, we get dict. So dictionary is an object of type dict. To add an value to a dictionary, we can use the key along with the dictionary name and assign the value. So now we create a dictionary with some values. Key and its value are separated by colon. Key value pairs are separated by commas. So this is a key value pair. Key and value are separated by colon and each key value pair are separated by commas. And the whole dictionary is enclosed within a curly braces. So this is a sample dictionary which is having key 1, key 2, key 3, key 4, key 5, a tuple and a number. These keys can be these keys can be any of the immutable objects like strings, tuples. Keys can also be numbers. Values can be any object. Here it is a integer value. Here it is a list. In key 4 it is a tuple. As list or immutable object, it cannot be used as a key in a dictionary. But if we want to use a list as a key, we can turn into a tuple first and then we can use it as a key. So this is a dictionary of a Spider-Man movies. Keys are movie names and values are the released year. So this is a dictionary, spider list dictionary. So the first element is Spider-Man, which is released on 2002. Second element is Spider-Man 2, released on 2004. Third element is Spider-Man 3, released on 2007, and so on. So this is another sample dictionary. For every key, there can only be one single value. That is, keys of a dictionary cannot be duplicate. So we cannot have another Spider-Man as a key. However, multiple keys can hold the same value. This value can be same for different keys. So this is another example, new underscore dictionary, which is having 20 in two different keys. A and C are two different keys which is having the same value 20. It is helpful to visualize the dictionary as a table. Check the following image. The first column represents the key and the second column represents the values. So I am using the above Spider-Man dictionary example in this image. So let us discuss on how we can access the dictionary elements. So accessing a value using the key. Spider list dictionary is a dictionary where movie name is the key. So I'm giving the movie name Spider-Man Homecoming. I will get the value 2017 in which the Spider-Man Homecoming released. So similarly, the Amazing Spider-Man is the key where 2012 is stored. So we can get all the keys in a dictionary using the keys method. I'm applying keys method on this spider list dictionary. So I'm getting all the keys. That is the movie names. If I check the type of this keys, I got the movie name in a separate variable keys. So I'm checking the type of the keys. I'm getting dict underscore keys. So if I want to convert these keys into a list, I can use the list function. So all the movie names now comes in a list. So if I check this, I got the keys in a list and assign it to key underscore list. If I check the type of this key list, I get list. Now the values method. So now I'm getting all the values of the dictionary. Values of the spider list dictionary are the years. So if I apply this method values to the spider list dictionary, I got all the years. Let us discuss on some other methods and functions. So items is one more method where we can get all the items as a tuples. So this is a tuple where the movie name and the year are stored, and this is again another tuple where the movie name and the year are stored. Similarly, all the year and the movie name are stored in a separate tuples. We can append a key value pair in an existing dictionary, and this is another example where I have added the movie name Spider-Man Far From Home and the released year 2019. And if I check the dictionary, I can see that the new element added. Similarly, I can delete the element using the key. So if I delete Spider-Man release dict, if I want to delete the Spider-Man and the Spider-Man 2 from this dictionary, I can use this delete function. So if I check this, I can note that the above two element has been removed from the dictionary. We can verify whether a particular key is existing in a dictionary using the in function. So I'm checking the Spider-Man is existing in the Spider-Man release dictionary. I'm applying this delete function and then I will check, as I already deleted the element Spider-Man. Now I'm getting false. That is, it is not exist in the dictionary. I wanted all the movie names in the dictionary. So I can also access the dictionary elements using the get method. So if I apply the get method and pass the movie name, I will get the year. And this is another example where I'm explaining updating the dictionary S1 with S2 using the update method. S1 is a dictionary where 101 and 201 are the keys, and these two list are the values. S2 is also key. 401 and 501 are keys, and these two values are and these two list are values. So on the list is having a name and the age and the department. And here I'm updating the S1 with S2, and I can check that both are combined into a single dictionary and assigned to S1. And here I am calculating the average values of a dictionary For that, I'm using the example student and their marks. G is the dictionary where the list of marks stored against the students. So this is a student 2 mark list. Now I wanted to check the average of this marks. For that, I'm using sum and length function. So I'm getting the sum of student 2 marks and the length of the student 2 marks. I divide the sum by length and I got the average. So 86 is the average mark of the list of student 2. Now we discuss how to work on nested dictionaries. So this is an example nested dictionary, and so this is a sample nested list. Sorry, this is a dictionary. So this is a sample nested dictionary which is having an employee details. This is an employee dictionary where the first name and last name of the employee are stored against name, and the job title is stored against job title, and the city is stored against city. Here first name and last name are nested dictionaries and the job title is a nested list. So if I print this, I can see this dictionary. Now I want to access the name. Name is a dictionary itself. That is a dictionary inside a dictionary. So I can access it using employee dict of name. And I got the dictionary first name and last name. And I can also access this using get method that we already discussed. Employee dict dot get of name. So if I want to access the last name, that is the value inside a nested dictionary, that is accessing items in one of the nested element. So I can access the last name using employee dict of name of last name. So I'm using both the keys to access the nested value. The same way I can use the get method also. So employee dict of name dot get of last name. So in the dictionary name, I'm getting the value of the key last name. Job title is a list and I am accessing this job title using employee dict of job title. So I can also append some more values into a list, that is the nested list. So for that I am using employee list of job title dot append system analyst. So if I check the job title, I'm seeing the new job title has been added into the list. And this is another example on nested dictionary where key 1 is 1, 2, 3, key 2 is a list of numbers, key 3 is list of strings. So I wanted to access the second index of key 2. The value in the second index is 0, 1, 2, 33. We already discussed that dictionary has no indexing. But as key 2 is a list, we can access its elements using index. My dictionary, my dict of key 2 of 2. So 33 I'm getting. Similarly, value of key 3, which is also nested list. So I'm accessing it using my dict of key 3 of 0. So the element in the first place, item 0. We can even call methods on those nested values. So this my dict of key 3 of 0 is a nested value and I'm applying the upper method. So this item 0 I'm getting in the uppercase letters. So till now in this tutorial, we have discussed a lot about list tuples, and now in this video we discussed about dictionaries too. Now we will discuss where we can use this list tuples and dictionary using an example. Apart from tuples being immutable, tuples are heterogeneous data structures, that is, entries in a tuple having different meanings. For example, student name and grade, student name and marks, whereas lists are homogeneous sequences. For example, a list of page numbers, a list of names. So tuples have structure whereas lists have order. Therefore, tuples are used when we want to pass an object to a function, and if we want to, that is, if we need to make sure that values do not get changed. And for example, if you want to store a person's credential for websites, then tuples can be used. Example, person equal to ABC is the name of the person, admin is the username, and 12345 is a password. Whereas lists are used when we want to store similar elements. For example, this is a list of groceries where I stored butter, bread, and cheese. This list may extend, but this person tuple will not extend. So there is no need of updation. That is, there is no need for a change. Therefore, tuples are used here. Whereas this list will extend in future where I will add more elements into this grocery list. So here I can use the list. Oh, so an example on how we can use tuple, list, and dictionaries. For example, I am creating a reference to content of a book using page number and line number. Once I created this, later I can access content of a book using the particular page number and line number. For example, I'm storing the page number and the line number 42, 11 into my location. Into my location. So now my location is a tuple. Here we don't need to add or remove items from an existing location. So we need only page number and line number to access the content, and the numbers are not going to change. Numbers are not going to change. So we do not add or remove. So we do not add or remove items from an existing location. For example, this 42 and 11 is not going to be updated or changed because we need only page number and line number to access a content, and this number not going to be changed. So tuples can be used here as they are immutable. Now we can use this tuples, that is the pair of page numbers and the line numbers, as a key in a dictionary to store the notes on the content in that location. For example, DS, ML, AI, or tuples used to store a page number and line number in a data science book. So in DS, I stored 42 page number and 11 line number. In ML, I stored 48, 10. AI, I stored 53, 15. So content underscore dictionary is a dictionary where I use these tuples as keys. DS is a key, and I stored the content in the value. So DS, problem statement to solve using data science, ML, suggested machine learning algorithms, AI, artificial intelligence application. Some specific nodes I have stored against these tuples. That is, some nodes I stored against the page number and the line number. So in future, if I want, I can easily refer the content using the page number and line number. So I can access this using the page number and line number to get the content. That is, to get the notes on the content. Okay, now where can I use the list? List on the other hand can be used to store multiple locations of a book, as we may want to add or remove many locations from the list. We know that lists are mutable and it solves the purpose of updating a list of locations. For example, this is a location list where I have stored a list of tuples, and again the tuple is consisting of page number and line number 42, 11, 48, 10, 48, 18, 53, 50. So that is all about in this video. We will see more on next video. So please click the notification icon. If you like the content, please hit the like button and share with your friends. Thank you.